So Michael Caine is not merely a celebrated actor. He embodies a remarkable consistency, honesty, and quiet strength that transcends cinema, touching audiences across generations. From his magnetic, streetwise confidence in Alfie to the measured warmth and moral grounding he brought to Alfred in the Dark Knight trilogy. His presence has always carried a resonance that extends beyond performance alone. Over a career spanning more than 7 decades, he never pursued reinvention for its own sake or the fleeting glitter of superficial glamour. Instead, he maintained a grounded authenticity, shaped by lived experience rather than the applause of critics. Audiences recognized this truth instantly in the unmistakable timbre of his voice, forged by the streets of London rather than theatrical polish, in the posture and gestures that conveyed lived knowledge rather than affectation, and in his refusal to conform to anyone's expectations other than his own. His enduring appeal lies not in chasing trends, but in remaining rooted in honesty, bringing the depth of human experience to every role he undertook. Beneath the accolades, iconic performances, and global recognition lies a story defined not by privilege or easy opportunity, but by resilience, survival, and the slow, deliberate process of becoming a whole, grounded human being in a world that rarely offers shortcuts. Childhood in the shadow of war, Michael Caine, born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite, Jr. On March 14, 1933, grew up in a working-class family in London during a time of economic fragility and uncertainty. His father laboured long, exhausting hours in the fish market, determined to provide despite the toll it took on his body, while his mother worked tirelessly as a cleaner, her hands bearing the signs of constant labour. The family lived in cramped quarters where privacy was a luxury and comfort was rare, yet love existed quietly in the resilience of his parents' efforts and the persistence with which they carried on. The outbreak of World War II cast an indelible shadow over Michael's formative years, transforming childhood into a landscape of fear and unpredictability. Air raid sirens became routine, nights were fraught with danger, and the destruction of familiar streets reshaped daily life in ways that left permanent impressions. Like many children of his generation, Michael experienced evacuation, displacement, and sudden separations from loved ones, learning early on that safety could vanish without warning. These hardships did not breed bitterness. Rather, they cultivated in him a reflective and observant nature, a keen emotional awareness, and a sense of precision in understanding human behaviour, qualities that would later define his acting far more profoundly than formal training ever could. A young man forced to grow. Too soon, the post-war years offered little reprieve from hardship, and adulthood arrived prematurely. Michael's formal education ended not due to lack of ability or ambition, but because survival demanded practical work. As a teenager, he undertook clerical roles, messenger duties, and warehouse jobs, each reinforcing the understanding that dreams often had to wait for the necessities of life. During these years, he quietly observed the people around him, noting how hope, disappointment, and circumstance shaped voices, expressions, and gestures. Military service later carried him away from London, introducing him to discipline, responsibility, and the sobering truth that life could change in an instant. Returning home offered no special guidance or celebration, only the expectation that he would continue navigating the world independently. These experiences stripped away romantic notions of struggle and replaced them with something sturdier: persistence without self-pity, resilience without expectation of privilege, and patience without immediate reward. The years of early responsibility laid the foundation for a maturity far beyond his age, teaching him that growth often arises from necessity rather than choice. Finding purpose. Through performance, acting did not present itself as a childhood dream, but as a practical refuge, a space where warmth, purpose, and possibility briefly aligned. Small theatre groups and touring productions provided meagre pay and uncertain schedules, yet they offered a sense of direction and belonging that Michael had rarely experienced. Rejection was frequent, often blunt, and sometimes discouraging, shaped by societal attitudes toward class, accent, and appearance. Yet Michael never abandoned the voice and presence that reflected his origins. He carried them forward with quiet defiance, embracing what made him distinct rather than attempting to conform. Adopting the name Michael Caine, inspired by a cinema marquee, was not an act of self-reinvention, but a practical step forward, an acknowledgement that clarity and self-respect could coexist with ambition. Progress was measured not in headlines or immediate fame, but in perseverance, dedication, and unwavering belief in the value of one's work. By the time recognition arrived, it was built on years of unseen effort, quiet nights of reflection, and the persistent willingness to pursue a dream even when circumstances offered no certainty. Breakthrough and the weight of success. The mid-1960s brought a transformative turning point, with films such as Zulu and Alfie revealing a new kind of leading man in British cinema, one whose voice, demeanour, and presence reflected lived experience rather than theatrical artifice. Success arrived with speed, accompanied by the pressures of public attention, continuous work, and ever-present expectations. Fame brought opportunity and stability, but it also carried exhaustion, the anxiety of maintaining relevance, and the awareness that artistic excellence could never be assumed. There were moments when professional routine blurred into monotony, when critical praise felt fragile, and when voices suggested that his prime had already passed. Michael never feigned immunity to doubt. He recognized uncertainty as an intrinsic part of the creative journey. His career resurgence with films such as Educating Rita exemplified the resilience necessary to sustain a long life in the spotlight, demonstrating that true longevity arises not from uninterrupted triumph, but from the courage to begin anew when confidence wavers. Love, regret, and emotional growth behind the public achievements. Michael's personal life unfolded with complexity, shaped by love, separation, and gradual emotional maturation. Early relationships coincided with professional uncertainty, and like many young couples, he and his partners navigated the strains of financial pressure and ambition, pulling in different directions. Time and reflection softened youthful regrets, revealing the importance of patience and understanding. Later in life, his marriage to Shakira Caine brought humour, warmth, and stability to a life long defined by work and motion. Together, they cultivated a life marked not by image or publicity, but by mutual respect, patience, and shared values, offering proof that emotional growth continues far beyond youth. Family relationships, once disrupted by circumstance, evolved into spaces of connection, healing, and enduring love, demonstrating that the work of becoming fully human extends across decades and requires attention, empathy and consistency. Loss, memory, and perspective. Loss has touched Michael's life repeatedly, arriving subtly rather than dramatically, leaving impressions that deepened his understanding of human existence. The passing of parents, friends, and colleagues served as reminders of life's impermanence and the delicate value of shared experiences. Rather than retreating from grief, he approached it with honesty, allowing sorrow to exist without defining him. Memory became both a companion and a guide, shaping gratitude and perspective over resentment and regret. Through these experiences, he learned that survival does not imply avoiding difficulty or loss, but rather embracing life with dignity and resilience. The depth of these encounters with loss informed his performances, lending them quiet gravity, emotional precision, and authenticity that resonated because they felt grounded in reality rather than theatrical display. Aging with dignity and acceptance. As time progressed, Michael Caine approached aging not as defeat, but as a natural stage requiring adjustment and grace. Physical limitations altered daily routines, yet his sense of self remained steadfast. He did not fight the process of growing older, but embraced it as a continuation of life's journey, choosing presence and reflection over constant activity and public display. Public appearances became less frequent, not out of withdrawal, but as a conscious choice to value quality over quantity. In doing so, he offered a model of dignity and acceptance, showing that worth does not diminish with age, and that meaningful contribution is not always measured by visibility or recognition. By integrating experience, reflection, and simplicity into his later years, he exemplified a life lived fully, one shaped by understanding, intentionality, and respect for the passage of time. The meaning of legacy. Michael Caine's legacy transcends awards, accolades, and financial success. His influence lies in the representation of working class identity on screen, the illustration of resilience without bitterness, and the demonstration that success need not demand the erasure of one's origins. For younger actors, he serves as a mentor figure, a living example of the virtues of patience, humility, and professionalism. He has shown that preparation is a form of respect, that kindness is a strength, and that enduring relevance is built on consistency rather than spectacle. His story reminds us that greatness often manifests quietly, that endurance can be more profound than brilliance, and that the measure of a life well lived is found in authenticity, perseverance, and the relationships cultivated along the way. A life still lived fully today. Michael Caine's days are filled with the comforts he earned and the relationships he treasures. Simple pleasures, a conversation, a book, a shared meal, have taken on immense significance, reflecting a life once marked by relentless motion and challenge. He remains observant of the world, thoughtful about its changes, and deeply grateful for the journey that brought him to this stage. Though no longer defined by constant work or public recognition, he continues to engage with life meaningfully, embodying a sense of presence, connection, and fulfillment. His journey is a testament to the idea that survival itself is an achievement, that a life forged in hardship can find balance and joy, and that the greatest role one can play is a lifelong act of becoming, enduring, and remaining fully human in all circumstances.